we're on now?
Yeah, we're on it.
Okay.
I don't know what
All
Francis
right.
did with
We're
it.
recording now. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay.
Look at the minutes. Minutes.
I'm abstaining, so I wasn't
Oh,
here.
you weren't here?
Yeah.
Motion to approve the minutes. Second.
All those in favor to approve the minutes? Raise your hand. Okay, that's everybody present, and one abstain.
I forget, do I have to sign that and put abstain?
Don't have to.
Okay.
We only need 3.
Okay.
This is over the pays.
Okay.
Tables.
Tables over 500. American Pumper Repair, $27,059. Voice Forms for $543.56. Chemical Services, $887. Christine Keener, $2,500. CNI Fiber, $954.10. Edward J. Prescott, $834.32. Force Technology, $2,599.86. Lots of payrolls. National Oil and Gas, $1,209.44. NIPSCO, $1,259.86. Torque Engineering, $1,008. Trueland Equipment, $3,496.67. Underground Contractors for $69,440.25. Utility Supply, one for $6,816.50 and one for $6,477.22. Verizon Wireless, $632.75. Wex Bank, $1,215.43. WM Corp. for $11,012.58. And Woodburn Hardware for $635.96. Any questions?
Move to pay the bills.
Second.
All those in favor to pay the bills, raise your hand. Okay, is everybody?
Mhm.
Clears my screen. Okay, what else you have?
That's, I don't have
That's
anything.
it?
That's nice and easy for me. I talked enough the last meeting.
Yeah, you read a lot.
Yes.
Ryan, you have anything else other than?
I'll go over what I went through last meeting, that way Kevin can
Okay.
get the minutes.
Yep.
We have we paid a Cordy bill for a home on, Rupp Street. They were hooked into the old sewer line that we did. We put a new sewer line in 10, 15 years ago. The new one we put in, this home was still hooked in the old line. So they called Cordy out with a plug line. We ended up reconnecting them to the new main. They're now back in service. Cordy, the Board of Works approved to pay the Cordy bill. It was just under $2,000, I think. So there's that bill, and then we had a tree removed on Core Street. We had a tree removed there. We discussed that. Then we discussed the replanting of trees that are on Carl Street. And then we also had in there the home on the corner of Stinger and College Street. Has a tree that has carpenter ants that they would like to have us look at to either see if we need to have it removed, or they would rather not have it removed, but if it needs to be removed, it needs removed, but they would also have, like to have trees replanted back in there if we remove them. So. What else is on my list there, Kevin?
Is that on city property?
Yeah, they're on city
Yeah,
property,
it's
yeah.
What,
Yeah.
what,
Okay,
you said the trees removed on Core Street, then you said trees planted where? Where?
Carl.
Carl,
I can look back at the other
I
one.
know, I can't remember what I put on there.
Trees removed on Coral and Stanger, trees replanted, sewer line, pricing on Park Street, and update on my conference classes.
Oh, yeah, the rest of that stuff is, I can explain to you later. It was just filler room,
Yeah.
so, but, yeah, other than that, everything's been going good with the city, so. Mowing season and all that fun stuff.
yeah. Yeah.
That's all I have, unless you guys have anything for me.
As far as the tree with ants, I don't mind taking it down, and I don't mind replanting a new tree if we need to. I mean, rather than trying to treat it and having them say that it's gonna need to come down.
Is it an old tree? Have you even looked at
He
it?
said it was fairly old.
It's fairly old.
Yeah.
We've treated both those trees over the last several years already for
Oh, really?
some flies, some fly larvae.
Black
yeah.
stuff on them, yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
treat them every year. For the last several years, we've had to put treatment on them.
Is that costly to take that down and,
I would guess that tree's gonna be about $1,000 to take down probably, roughly, based off of what we've had the other ones taken down for.
so we pay somebody, you don't do that?
Yeah, we pay somebody to do that,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Which other tree you taking down on College
On College,
or Core, maybe?
we took a dead tree down that was on the corner of Rupp and Core. It was on the
Okay.
south west corner.
Okay.
I guess it was on the corners down the road a little bit, between Rupp and Westmont.
That house you were talking about spraying the trees, in the next house, Donna, she's got a tree there between the two trees she wanted you to look at.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
Donna? that-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that
Okay.
one interferes with her sewer quite a bit too. Used to.
Used to, yeah.
I don't know if it does anymore, but she asked me, asked you to look at it.
I'll take a peek at it.
Okay.
Alright. Cool. That's it, Ryan?
Yep.
Alright, so, Kevin and I talked about this last week. I'm going to apply for the second call of community crossings road projects. My thoughts are that since we didn't do any projects this year, try to combine them for next year, just because we can do the second call, but the projects won't start till next year. They won't have to be paid till next year too. So try to combine what we were gonna pay this year to next year and just do more next year. You know, so, I don't know if you found out about how to.
I
do
emailed
that.
her, I haven't heard back yet.
Okay, that's fine.
Reappropriate.
I put that as a draft when me and you were talking about it, and then I sent it to her
Okay,
Friday, I think, and I haven't heard back from you.
worst case scenario, we could apply just for 1 year's budget and then do a second call next year and apply for the following year, you know,
Mhm.
so. Yeah, trying to take care of some of those older roads that are starting to get bad, and Burnwood Place and, the last section of Stockman Way that's connected to the new addition too, so.
Mm-hmm. I need to call a doctor.
No.
Wait till I'm dead.
We have some audience members here. Yes, ma'am.
I just stop by, say hey,
Hey.
find out what's happening.
Haven't
'cause
seen you in a while.
Haven't seen you in a
You
while.
used to come all the time. and-
I know, life
Yeah.
just gets busy. I just had to I saw yellow writing on the road behind me, and I'm like, all right, what's happening over at that road there? Cause you know how I feel about my road.
Yeah.
So I just want to know what's going on that road, just in case it's spreading like some kind of virus in
Right.
my direction. So.
So the
Yeah.
landscape company that we contract with They're gonna replace a lot of the trees that we've taken out
Right.
over the years because of
Right.
sidewalk projects and stuff.
Yeah,
so.
'cause there used to be nice trees there, and there aren't any trees there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
gonna line them up like streetlights down there.
yeah, that'll look nice.
Yeah.
That'll look really nice.
Keeping your sidewalk clean for me?
I am, I'm keeping it cut back, and
Alright.
Vic tore a bicep muscle, so he's out of commission, so he can't take care of his sidewalks, I'm working on his sidewalk, oh yeah. It's crazy over there,
Appreciate it.
so,
Appreciate it.
doing my part.
I know yours is kinda narrow right there.
No, it's fine. No, there's
I
nothing
was thinking
wrong
nice
at
wide
all
sidewalk
with-
right in front of your house.
No, because then they'll be like, hey, what do they have for dinner in there? Because we are so close to
Right.
that.
Right.
No.
She was in here last week telling me she wanted that.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, they already know that we go back a ways
I
about
think
that.
we were talking, that's when we were fast tracking, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Just in front of your house.
Yeah, just right in front of my house, yeah, it's just like, oh gosh, no.
Yeah.
I'm still just trying to keep up with that. You'll notice if you drive past my house, I have moved all my landscaping back
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah, he's.
just in case y'all try to slide something on me there, I don't have to move everything at the last minute, so, yeah. I'm watching,
I know.
but yeah, I've seen that, so when I heard him say about trees, it was like, okay, we're good, we're good, it's trees. That's why I let yellows all over the place, alright, we're good, so, no, it's all good. Still happy to be here in Woodburn,
Good, glad
still
to hear
loving
it.
it,
Glad to hear it,
So.
thank you.
except for my tax assessment,
Did-
I'm not so happy about that.
Yeah, I
Well, none of
think
us-
everybody-
none of us-
I don't think
Everybody-
anybody was.
everybody in
Yeah.
Allen County, I think.
I
yeah.
am shocked,
Yeah,
and I know that if you file an appeal, they wanna come out and walk around your house and get a closer look, and I'm like,
and you have to wait
Like-
2 years, yeah.
oh, like heck, you're gonna come walk
June,
around my
yeah,
house.
if anybody's wondering about, June 13th is your cutoff
Right,
for the appeal. All you have to do is fill the form out, and if it went up for more than 5%,
mhm,
you don't have to prove anything. That's on, the burden of proof is on them. You can email them an appeal, and they have to come out and prove that, why they're charging you 20% extra. That's
okay,
what I
well, here's
found
the thing,
out. So if
cause you
everybody
know how
knows.
I am. So I went back and I know it's the they look at the houses that go up for sale in 2024 and all that, and that's how they base it all. So me being the person I am, I went and I pulled all that information that they used to assess my house. There were 20 houses that sold. And out of those 20 houses that sold,
Mhm.
8 of those houses never sold for the price that they were assessed at. They sold for much lower than that. So what the
Really?
what? That's 40%
Wow.
of the houses that sold last year did not sell for what the county assessed them at. So somebody's doing something, and it ain't good. So I know though if you go and appeal it, that they're gonna send somebody out, and then we're gonna have a fight over on Becker Road, because they'll be like, no, don't you walk around my house. You assessed it from whatever document you're doing, fix it. But I do know that the assessment has gone ridiculously high, the property values alone have gone up.
I noticed mine too, yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's house.
And I know,
Yeah.
I know, talk to the Amish too, and they're just like, what? So, yeah. But no, everything's quiet in there, remember,
Alright.
I'm good with it.
You know about the car show on September 20th, right?
Yeah, we have a car that we're gonna enter.
Nice. Nice.
We got a smart car and it looks like a cozy coupe. So literally, if you see it, go around, it's me.
All
Yeah,
right.
it looks just like a cozy coupe.
Hmm.
Matter of fact, we had the police officer from town come over and do a VIN check, and he's like, can I take a picture of that? So, yeah.
Is yours the one, is it a little car that's red and yellow?
Yeah,
It looks
yeah.
like a little tykes?
Yeah, that's my car.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, that
Wow.
little tiny car.
I saw that when I was walking this morning.
Yeah, that would be mine.
Is that a
Yeah.
kid's car or is that?
That
a
is
real
a
car?
full-size smart car. But no, it only has a 3-cylinder. It's on a motorcycle engine.
Wow.
Is how they sold them. So yeah, 3 cycles.
You gonna pull that with a motor home?
Yes, we
what I
are, and it's
thought.
just like, oh my goodness, it's gonna get lost back there. It's just gonna get lost back
Is
there.
it not know it?
Yeah, hope not.
You just pick it, put it on top, and strap it down.
I know, right? It's just like, we have one of those little car carrier thing, you know, the ones that you put all your like junk on. If we just get one a little bit wider, we can just stick it on that, but
I've seen
no.
it done. On
See-
those cars, I've seen it done.
Hey, cool. I think my husband need to talk, you know, try to figure that out, because, yeah, it's all good.
All right, well, thank you. Yes,
All right, so Jen's normally here for
okay,
the food trucks.
yeah,
We wanted to bring up the fireworks. Our contract ended, and and they're willing to keep our same price. However, we weren't super impressed with the show last year, so we decided to look around. We found We Pyro It, who's willing to work with us. They're wanting to expand their business out towards us, so they're willing to do the 8 to 12 minute show, just like the other company did, but for $3,999, so $4,000. And they want to do a 3-year contract. However, at the end of this year, if we're not impressed with them, they will have a clause in there that we're able to walk away from the contract if you guys are okay with it. I don't know the process.
So were you thinking 4th of July?
It won't be the 4th of July because it'll be when we do the food truck Friday, so it would be, let me pull up the exact date here. It would be the July 18th.
Okay. So we mentioned the car show.
Yep.
Which is September 20th.
Yep.
And our thoughts were to, nice to join us, Rachel. Our thoughts were to save promotions money for that period. So is it possible to, if we wanna have fireworks during that period, maybe we could spend the money for the fireworks and have them during that show on September 20th? Would that be something that council would like to do, or?
So we're not gonna have 4th of July?
Yeah, I feel like that's when everyone kind of looks forward to it, is
Yeah.
the 4th
Yeah.
of July.
Don't necessarily have to have it every year on the 4th. We've had it in October before.
Yeah.
The thing is, the festival stops at 4 or 5 o'clock,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
somehow we'd have to change
Well,
change
it's
that.
been
that,
nice
yeah.
with the
Yeah.
fireworks as well with the food trucks, so I know a lot of people will come out, get their food, and then they just go sit at the Ball Diamond
Yeah.
and do it, so I
Yeah.
know it's been for the past few years done like that.
I thought it was before the 4th of July that we did it.
It usually
It's
is.
usually in
So-
June.
How they're doing the food trucks is they're doing them, I believe, the 2nd Friday of every month, just to keep an easy schedule for people to follow. So, I mean, we were willing to do them either June 13th or July 18th, so.
I think everybody's kinda gotten used to it being earlier, haven't we? I know it was last year.
It was last year
Yeah.
how it felt.
I don't,
I have a couple questions. Have you guys tried to raise the money elsewhere for this? I just think with the festival coming up and us, if we actually wanna do a good job on that, putting funds towards that over a 10-minute fireworks show, I mean, it's a great show and it's awesome for the community, but if we can take that money, $4,000, and stretch it out for other stuff, for a festival and a car show that is gonna attract
that's
more
true.
people.
Yeah.
I mean, no offense to you guys, but I just think, for the community, if we're doing this event, it doesn't necessarily have to be fireworks for that money.
Well,
But
like he said, it's over though at 5 o'clock, is that right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying take that money for fireworks at the festival. I'm
Oh.
saying put that money
Do something
towards
else with it.
festival activities.
Oh,
Yeah.
so no
Is-
fireworks at all?
Well, they would still be free to raise the funds elsewhere.
Open to talk about fireworks,
Yeah,
just,
that's my
How do you
opinion.
feel about that?
I don't know where we would really, this is my first year even helping with this, and I'm more or less
Oh.
kinda,
so
Like,
we threw all the
here.
problems at you.
Yeah.
yeah, it was like, okay, can you help me with out a couple
Right.
things? And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that all the money that they've worked on raising has been towards the splash pad so far, but I know those are in specific trusts or funds from what I understand, so we aren't able to really use that money
Right.
from my understanding.
Yeah.
So I don't know where exactly we'd be getting it from unless we went out to the community and were basically asking.
Ask the community,
Yeah.
the people that have businesses, you mean,
Mhm.
go to those, No, I don't know, that's expensive. I'm surprised
Well,
it's not,
I
that it's
reached
that low, because with China being hit
Uh-huh.
with those
Well,
tariffs.
I've been talking to this
That's
guy
where
for
they
a couple
usually
months
come
and
with,
he's like,
from,
I'm willing to, the only reason he's willing to give us this good of a deal is he does weddings and he wants to expand his business this way, closer to where he lives. Because every other company that I was talking to, it's $1,000 a minute for fireworks.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
Yeah, I got laughed at by a lot of people when I brought up the budget.
Oh my gosh.
So it was like I called 6 or 7 different places, and that's what I was able to find and work with this guy.
Mhm.
And it was more or less our location and wanting to market this way.
I have a question.
Yeah.
My understanding is that there's never gonna be a splash pad because the city or the township cannot afford the processing of the water. And I know a lot of people in town have wondered how much money is sitting there, and since it is a 501c3,
Mhm.
people would like to know how much money is there and look at how else it could be spent for
The
the township.
community. That's something that I actually brought up to Jen, and Jen would be the one to talk to, because I honestly have no idea. But I talked to her about even if we could reach out to the people and use the funds towards improving the playground. Because I mean,
Which
there's
people
areas
would
are,
support
yeah.
that.
there's areas that are breaking, and the bigger one, and even a revamp. It's a great playground, it's a great area, but it is starting to see wear and tear. So
Is there any way Jennifer could be here in 2 weeks for the next meeting?
I'll reach out to her and ask. I
Okay.
know she was working today.
Okay, because I think there's a lot of questions. I mean,
There are.
so, I mean, a lot of people in the community donated to that, and when they first started it,
Same.
that's what it was advertised as, is for the food trucks,
Mhm.
but there doesn't seem to be any oversight on that. So
Yeah.
do we know exactly how much the food trucks are getting? Who's keeping track of that? And, you know,
Jen is keeping track of
and,
that.
but it hasn't been, but it hasn't been advertised as food trucks for the splash pad in a long time, 5 years probably.
I know
4
when I've
years.
gone out to the food trucks, I've always seen the sign even before I knew. Because there's always a sign out there with a box for donations for the splash pad. And I know she makes each food truck give a portion towards.
Well, it's supposed, yeah, it's supposed to be a
Yeah.
portion of that, but there's no one keeping track over that, huh?
I know she is.
Okay.
I
I need to
believe.
have her in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have to have her.
I mean, it's one thing to just have a fireworks show or something else, but when
Uh-huh.
people in the community are donating for a
Mhm.
specific thing,
Right.
and then when their kids were 5 and they could play at a splash pad, and now it's been 5 years,
Yeah.
doesn't
Right.
seem like there's an end in sight, might be another 5 years.
Mhm.
That kid's 15, there's no way they're gonna do that, so their money that they donated to a cause
It's
that
a
they
lost
thought they were
cause.
gonna benefit is now, you know, not a lost cause, cause but I
The
think there'd
next
like to be some sort of end in sight and some
Right.
questions to
Use
be
it.
answered.
Right.
Especially when you got, I mean, again, no offense, but when you come asking for $4,000 and we go,
Mhm.
okay, well, let's ask
Yeah.
back,
No, I
you know?
agree.
So if she could be here in 2 weeks, that'd be
Yeah.
great. I don't think we should make a decision on
Mm-mm.
this until she can
Yeah.
come by and answer some
Well, it's a
questions.
community association, it's not just a park. I mean,
That's
Yeah.
true
am
too.
I right? It's a community association,
Community association,
it's
yes.
not just a park, not for our splash pad, I mean, they should be
And
in on your,
it would be for a project
it should be in your
with
Main
Monmouth
Street and your,
Township too,
car show.
and not City of Woodburn.
I mean, that's the whole part of the whole thing, it's part of the community. They don't just do a splash pad, they should be doing everything else too.
What is the name of the actual, so is it for sure a 501c, so it's a nonprofit organization?
Right.
Okay, so they have to report income and everything
Yeah.
like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Should be
what is
Gateway,
the- huh?
They're a gateway there, right?
Yeah, have to be on
Yeah.
some sort of website. What is the actual name of the, okay,
No
you don't,
idea.
okay,
It's the Woodburn Community Association.
that's what it's
Yeah.
called, okay. Cause that should all be public information that
Yeah.
we can look up.
It would be.
Okay,
My understanding is,
Me-
Maumee Township trustee asked to find out what the funds were, and she didn't give them to him.
well, I mean, it's-
Main Street has, you guys got your 501c3 too,
Yeah.
didn't you? That's what I thought.
And according to our bylaws, you have to have regular meetings, you have to have election officers. I have not heard about a Woodburn Community Association meeting for a long time.
does that have to be like publicly advertised, or can they just do something by themselves?
Public, as far as I know.
At least one has to be in person, the rest of them can be virtual, but at least one has to be in person.
Do you have to put that in the paper or anything, or do you just do it?
I don't know I don't think you have to put it in the paper.
Hmm.
We do. We have
Sure.
meetings in the paper.
If you're having elections, you know, it's open to the community.
Mhm.
So somehow you'd have to let the community know
Yeah.
that you're having a meeting with elections of officers, so that people could
I think
participate.
I think if Jennifer's here, she'd be able to
Yeah.
answer
She would.
a better, questions better.
Sorry, guys.
That's
All
all
right.
right.
Thank you for coming, I know.
No.
Thanks for coming.
we appreciate
got
it.
kind of put on the hot seat there, so
Yeah.
apologize.
Yeah.
What's the latest budget on that? And that's over, gonna be here at the park, hopefully, is that right?
There is not going to
Sounds
be a splash pad. Ryan, are you gonna explain why?
The
they're
budget
going-
on the spot, what are you asking? Let's see what he's at, what are
Talking
you
about a
asking?
$500,000 project.
They won't be able to afford the water and sewer for splash pad.
Is that what you're asking about?
I was just wondering how close it was to actually being a possibility.
No, I guess
Figure
not.
out
I
from my
don't think that's
understanding.
even close.
Not
I
very.
don't think it's gonna happen.
And
Not that
why,
I know of. I don't, you know.
why would we cost so much for the water? Doesn't it just run
Well, there's two
around?
systems you can get.
Two systems,
You can get a internal system that filters its own water.
Yeah,
but that's not what they have.
That's a
planned.
much
what
more
they-
expensive
oh,
Yeah.
one.
okay.
The
Well, in the
cheaper one
millions, yeah.
just uses water coming in from the utility.
Oh, we don't wanna do
But then
that.
it has to go through the treatment,
Yeah.
Let's go to the
Yeah.
treatment plant.
like your regular sewer.
Oh, no wonder it's expensive.
Yeah.
Extremely expensive.
Wow. Hmm.
All
That's
right,
too
thank
bad.
you. Yes, sir.
Hey, I rent part of Nunman's shop over here, and I was curious about, there's an alley next to it. Whose responsibility is it? Is it the Nunman shop, or is it the city for that alley that's there?
Which
I
alley?
don't know, is it an alley, or is, the alley's behind the building, I think. And I don't know if it's an alley or not. If it's an alley, it's the city's responsibility.
I don't know, I tried to get answers, and they said this would be the best way to do it, is to
Yeah.
come here.
Yeah. What, he's looking for something.
To be on the north side,
Where's that at?
right behind the police station, between the Nunman machine shop and.
You say it's on the north side of the building?
Okay.
Is that between the
Ag Plus.
co-op and
Yeah.
your building? I didn't know there was a lot of room in between there.
I thought it was just a parking lot.
Well, the alley's gotta have an exit, the one that's in back, so.
Pull it up, huh?
We went,
Pull it up on
I was in here the other day with the gentleman that does the announcing downtown, or down at the
Yeah, Jeff.
city, yeah. And we went through the ACI map,
Yep.
and we couldn't figure out,
It's an alley.
It's what?
It's an alley, Corey. I don't know where the big blue one's at.
Our alley?
There's a big blue map that shows it, but I don't know where, it's buried, it's in a frame somewhere. And I think it's an alley.
To the north.
To the north side of Nunman's, between the
I
ag
didn't
building
think
down
there,
there.
I didn't think there was that much room between.
Yeah, yeah.
there's
Well,
at least,
between-
there's at least 30 feet between the buildings, but I don't know exactly where the property lines are.
Yeah, I'll have to look and see if it is. I'm assuming that Ag Plus is always taking care of it, because they don't want to drive the tractors and
This
stuff down
building,
through it.
Is there
Is it
a
between-
fountain in the alley?
I just like to get some stone dropped in there, so
Oh. I
cars
thought
don't
maybe there
bottom
was-
out.
Where are you talking, Ryan, again?
Maybe there was some disaster.
No,
It
there's a
would
manhole
be-
cover there with a car, low riding car,
Be right,
Oh.
could bottom out.
this is,
That's
the
not
police station
good.
would be right here. This is an alley right here. This whole section right here.
So that's an alley between the two buildings, huh?
There's an alley behind it here too.
Okay.
To the bar's parking lot.
Yeah,
Or does that run all the way to
majority-
Main Street?
It runs all the way to Main Street. We got it, we have it actually blocked off on Main Street. You actually can't access the alley from Main Street.
Yeah. I didn't think there was that much room in there.
I don't know if it's all an alley. It's probably just the 15 foot that's in there. But they have 3 foot setbacks probably, so, you know, it's probably 21, 25 feet in between the buildings. Yeah.
So you wanna put stone in there, just,
That's
so,
what it is now, and it's terrible.
Yeah, it probably is. I know we've never done anything with it because the
Yeah.
co-op's always done it.
I guess if you wanna do that, I see no problem. We may tear all that down before long anyway,
Tear what down?
the co-op. That's probably gonna happen sooner or later.
Okay.
So I don't know if that'll screw up your stone or what.
We'll grade it, we'll grade it, stone it, whatever it needs, we'll get it graded off.
Oh, thank you.
We've probably just never taken care of, because the co-op has probably always just ran their stuff through there, so we just left it be.
Yeah, I never went back there until I started working with Lowell, and that's only been the last year.
Yeah.
Just gotta figure it out. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Jeannie?
Okay, so, we've got quite a few things set for September 20th. We have our 5K walk run. It's online to register. It's been shared to Woodburn Main Street's Facebook page. So if you need information where to go to sign up. We're hoping we can use volunteers to help run the 5K, 1K. 1K is free for kids, but we think since it's a city thing, it'd be really nice if some of the city council could volunteer to help with it. Just food for thought, but we'd like you guys to be involved in the activities of September 20th.
Absolutely.
Well, a registration type table where there's
Or the
bananas
majority
and-
is already involved.
where there's bananas and water and stuff, so somebody will demand that. There might be a
I
water
may be
station
out of the
out
country.
halfway on the course.
Yeah.
Seriously, you're gonna be out of the country?
No! She can
Well,
hear, you got good ears.
I'm running the 5K, so I won't be able to.
Well, that's always an option too, participate or volunteer to help.
I think I was the first sign up.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Terry has helped me so much get that all taken care of. He's done all the hard work for it, so I really appreciate your help with that. Right now, our biggest challenge is having coffee for this event. We had Deja Brew all set. She can't afford all the Board of Health requirements. They are so expensive. I just talked to another food truck today from Ohio. He would charge $500 just to come and set up, because it's $250 for a one-day permit in Allen County. If he wants to start before 9 or 10 in the morning, it's another $50. He has to take his trailer, his coffee trailer, into Fort Wayne for the Board of Health to check it the day before.
Wow.
So it's very, very expensive.
Is everybody else busy? Or something? Is everybody else busy or something?
Right, we, the first two that I contacted are all busy. I just talked to, one today. He can do it, but we have to pay $300 for him to come out. That's to cover all those expenses of Allen County.
What needs to happen?
There's one that sits in the parking lot all the time.
Well, do you want me to tell you a sad story about that one? I am heartbroken about this. Some business in town turned her into the Board of Health, and they shut her down. I think that's cruel. She was not bothering anybody, and everybody was enjoying it. Her only thing that she cannot afford to do is she cannot use her own water from home. She cannot store her breakfast sandwiches in her own freezer. She must be connected to a commissary for those things. Now, if you can find a commissary that will work with you on it, if someone would get sick eating something from the truck, that commissary, restaurant, business, whatever, would also be liable. All because of Allen County, all their rules.
Have you looked into traveling Toms? That's one
Yes,
that's
they're
coming
already
to us.
booked.
Okay.
Yep.
It's like, that's one that we have coming, so I was like, I know
We
that
can't
one's
get one of the
great.
restaurant, or the restaurant here in town to,
They still have to have the Board of Health come out for the day of the event. So it does cost them money, but one of the businesses might be willing to.
Well, they could provide basic coffee, but we're talking fun coffee for the non-serious coffee drinkers.
oh, why,
Maybe as well
why
as-
do you even have to have coffee at all?
Well, I've been told from
Car show wants it.
car show
Yeah.
people want coffee.
Really? I haven't been to a car
What about the Lions?
They
What's
don't, they are not equipped to do coffee,
I thought they used to do that.
not all the time I've gone
Been a
with them.
while.
That trailer is full just with all the stuff that goes on to make the donuts. We just had somebody comment this last weekend, there's a lot of people in that trailer, and it's like, takes one person to make up the batter
Yeah.
and grind it out so it goes into the fryer, it takes two people to work the fryer. Then you got somebody that sugars, and then you got somebody that bags. So it's not a real simple process, the whole donut thing. So, which we're always looking for volunteers too to help make donuts. We are really short on people for making donuts too. Unfortunately, some of our people have let's say kindly aged out for being able to do it. I can't even help make them because I can't stand that long in one place. My back freaks out, so that's why I sell. We just want, our committee just wanted to encourage the city council to be a part of our activities on that special day. This is the first time we've really had an all-city activity day. So we're thrilled that the Indiana National Guard is gonna provide entertainment. That's exciting. So they're bringing their bouncy house and their blow-up slide and their
And it
trucks.
should have a couple trucks and maybe a weapon system too.
So that's exciting, so.
My husband and I could probably help out if we're in town. I mean, I can work at a table or whatever
Well,
to,
registration is right
registration.
at this building at the community center. We have the community center, so we're gonna set up registration table in there.
we can't sit outside.
Well, you could, but it would be easier to keep track of inside. We need somebody,
Things are blowing everywhere.
we need somebody, luckily, Safe Haven Baby Box is donating the t-shirts for this event. And so you bag these t-shirts up and all the other stuff that goes in the bags too, so.
Oh,
So there's just a lot of little steps to this. Especially, do you call that midway where they can stop and get water?
Yeah, water table.
A water table.
how many people have signed up?
We just started. We just started last week.
It just went
Water
on
table
my,
At least one, 'cause I signed up.
Yeah, I know, I know
5K,
you're
yeah.
doing it.
Sign up. If you guys want to, sign up.
They used to run
Run
all the
and
time.
walk it.
I don't know, when they said walk, then that included me.
Runsignup.com.
Yeah.
And you search Woodburn and find it and go to it. Yep.
I saw it on
Give me a reason to
Facebook.
start running again.
Yeah.
There's nothing embarrassing about walking.
Nope.
Nope.
I did
Walking
the
is,
half marathon. I can.
besides that, we got the free walk, run for the kids.
Right.
So, but anyhow, so I don't know what to say about the coffee thing. At least this last one I talked to, they are available, so, and he's cheaper than the other ones. I can't remember the name.
What about the place that opened up down here? Have they opened yet? Occasions? Could they help out with
They are
coffee?
not open yet.
But would they,
Watchman Coffee is who is available. That, I don't know if you've heard of them or
No,
not.
I haven't.
I don't.
oh, what about the
maybe-
restaurant,
Yeah.
Guards?
Well, again, like I said, it'd just be basic coffee, maybe.
But isn't that okay? I mean, why do we have to
They're
have?
talking, like Starbucks coffees, fancy
Yeah.
coffee is
Oh
what they're
my
referring to.
gosh, that's expensive.
I'm pretty sure the Steelworkers Union would be willing to sponsor that. They're gonna sponsor kids' games, so.
Yeah,
Oh, well, that'd be,
but,
I'm surprised you can't get a couple just to come out here.
it's just, like I said, it's been a challenge trying
Most
to.
places charge them to come in.
I think it's gonna get challenging even more so with these tariffs coming in. I mean, that's gonna start hitting coffee, especially coffee.
So they won't, they're charging a fee just to come set up?
Yeah, that's crazy to me.
Well, that covers part of all the stuff that, for those permits and stuff that they
Wow.
have to pay for, so.
A lot of the ones in the area already pay for all those.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering if we could
That's
get
why,
it
that's why,
local.
yeah.
Well,
So
I've
there's
run
only a
it,
couple coffee trucks in town.
Thank you.
Traveling Tom's has 3 or 4 trucks, but,
And they're, like I said, they're already booked.
yeah. But there's only a couple others that are.
That
not
have all the
Traveling
extra
Toms. Yeah,
goodies.
Yeah, like I said, I've been going down the list and calling.
So we have to have gourmet coffee then, right?
yeah.
I do. I don't know if I'm gonna drink it, I gotta have more.
Okay.
I mean, there's an option on the truck. It's not like you have to get it. They have regular coffee too.
Yeah.
But I mean, you want the option to have both, right?
The other good one was.
And this is gonna be free?
No, they would pay for their coffee.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. They don't think they make enough money here to.
Well, and it's sometimes with the food trucks and whatnot, they wanna know that, be like, okay, we can guarantee a certain percentage in sales. If you do not make this, we will pay.
Has anybody
Not
talked
for
to you
your
about
funds.
that?
Is that something that you've negotiated with any of them or discussed?
The only one that gave that option was Traveling Tom.
Yeah.
And like I said, they're already booked.
Well, what about Deja Brew? You reach back out to, so if she gets the money for the permits, then,
Who's gonna pay $500 for?
well, no, I'm saying if she makes the money. a
If she
certain
makes
amount-
at least $500, will she waive our fee?
No. Deja Brew cannot do it here. She
Okay.
cannot afford that
Fee.
whole thing with the commissary getting connected to and all that
Okay,
stuff.
so she's shut down permanently.
From Allen County.
Yeah.
She's over doing good business over in Keene.
Oh, I've never heard.
Because it's, when you get your permits in Ohio, I had this all explained to me too, you're good for anywhere in Ohio. Indiana, every county,
Wow.
you have to get your permits for.
Well, the county and towns have their own permits.
Yeah.
So it gets very, very complicated in Indiana, which doesn't surprise me, so anyhow, but otherwise, I think we're in good shape, so.
Well, maybe reach out to the other people who didn't offer it and see if they'll do something similar. I don't know how many other people you've reached out to besides Deja Brew and Traveling Toms. Maybe the one you're in contact with to see if they would do something to waive the fee that Traveling Toms does as well.
I know a lot of times if you talk to them, they'll work with you.
What she
Or
said
half
that
of it, at
Yeah.
least, you know.
Traveling Tom said they would get back to me if they had a cancellation, so.
Yeah, some of it, I mean, if it's $350 or whatever, $300, $150, and then you're only on the hook for half.
So anyhow, we're working on it. But we do encourage all of you to take part in our special day. I'm sure there's gonna be all kinds of places to volunteer, so
Absolutely. We're hoping for good weather.
Yeah.
Yep.
definitely.
When are you putting out this is like 4 months away, when are you putting advertising out for this?
Well, that's interesting too. I have sent a copy of the flyer that I have put together, but Goodrich has to put their part on. And I've gotten feedback from my local people, nothing from Goodrich, which I sent it to the two people that come to our meetings regularly, which I would send it to, I don't know her title, but the person that's going to put the Goodrich things on there. I'd send it to her, but I don't know if everything's okay with the other people, because they don't respond to their emails, so.
I could follow up with my guy.
So, yeah, you might want to start putting
I sent it
something
to
out for that.
Jose
Getting
last
close.
week. He
Yeah.
said he'd look for it, never heard back. I sent another email saying, were you able to open the attachment?
I'll ask him where he's at.
So I don't know. We have our meeting this week, so
Yeah.
Main Street does. So anyhow, because it's all set up through Canvana, so whoever I send it directly to, they can edit it however they want.
It's 8 a.m. on Thursday, right?
Yep,
All right. So if anybody wants to attend to get more information, 8 a.m. Thursday.
yep, yep.
Hmm.
John and Terry both attend our meetings, so.
The poster that you're gonna make up, that has the car show and the festival separately, right?
It's all on one flyer.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So whenever you guys get that finalized, make sure we get a copy so we
Oh.
can put it into our bills and we can,
Okay. Well, I would give it
Send
to
it
you
out.
anyhow, because we want you to advertise on the board too.
yeah, well, we could send it out, we could add a flyer in with the utility bills that go
That'd
out
be great.
Okay,
and insert. I mean, it's a little bit,
so, like I said, I'm kinda waiting for feedback here, right? So, it it took a while to even get this far because, well, disc golf. We're also having a disc golf event at the missionary church. But the disc golf club
Mhm.
was already scheduled for something else. So our contact, Brian Miller, is going to just do a come try it out, have fun time at the disc golf course.
Good.
He's gonna provide the disc and, helpful hints how to do it and that kind of thing, so. But it took a while for him to get to the meeting with his club and have them vote on it and then, so. Anyhow, we finally got that set too though. And if you wanna hear about an Excedrin moment, you can talk to Terry about putting all that stuff on the run whatever.
Oh,
Oh,
runs out, yeah.
Yeah.
The website, yeah.
I'm sure he took at least Tylenol before he got done.
Yeah.
It's the same site that the race for the Warriors on too.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So anyhow, but
Thank you, Jeannie.
you're welcome.
Herb?
I got one more thing, kind of with the Main Street, where I think your wife's gonna help set up a QR code. So
Yep.
if somebody wants to make contributions to Main Street, since we're a 501c3, they can do that, but in order to do that, we have to have a website.
Right, that it
Yeah.
points to.
Right,
Yep.
so what I was gonna ask the city is we would be willing to host on the city's website, the Main Street website. I talked to Kevin about putting that together.
So, when we did the website originally, there is a spot reserved for
The Main Street,
either the Main Street or the Chamber of Commerce,
Which no longer.
which is no longer active.
What would it go, so the QR code links to the website,
and then
what's
there
on the
would be,
web page?
well, it would be about Main Street activities and stuff like that. The main thing is then on that link would then go to the account at the credit union, so
They could directly
So it would
donate to
go-
us.
through that website to the credit union. It's my understanding, I've never done that, that's just my understanding.
Monica's the one that understands the QR give thing much better than.
No, I
we do.
mean, I understand, so the QR code links to a web page. The web page has the activities and a place to donate. Why don't you guys just set up a website?
Well, we'd have to pay for a domain then.
Yeah, it's like $7 a year, I mean, they're super cheap, if you have something that's not very expensive. It sounds like you guys need one anyway.
Oh, that's paid.
Well, and if you're gonna use a QR code, sometimes you can do one of the free domains, where if they type it in, it's this big long thing, but if they just are scanning it, we're using a link, they're not having to type it in anyway, and it's free.
I read through the free thing and it didn't sound real secure.
I mean, if you go on Squarespace, domains are like $7 a year. Or if you get something that's a little more complicated, it might be 10 or 20.
Well,
But that's for an
that was
entire
free, it
year.
could be free.
So you're asking them to set up a website?
Well,
They're
We
asking,
They
can't
need
add
it.
it to our city of Woodburn?
yeah, but every time they're gonna wanna update something, they're gonna have to bring it to me and then we have to go in there and update it.
Oh,
But if this is a continual thing that they're gonna have, you know,
Then
So
it
you-
can just be a link on the actual website to this website, which would have all the information.
no, they want their QR code to link to our website
Yeah.
and then have their webpage and then us update it when there's new events and stuff like that. But it sounds like something that you guys should set up a website and have it, that you guys manage it, and then that way,
that sounds very complicated.
I mean, if it was like, if it's one time, I don't know, if you guys are, if it's a one-time thing where you want it to link to donate to the association, then I'm okay with that. But I'm not, like, I don't wanna go on there and put events every time you guys have an event and
I
be
don't think
constantly
there-
updating it for you.
Is there a way to put the link, put it in Facebook and have a QR code to go to the Facebook page? No.
Probably not.
No,
That
she
would-
already
yeah,
asked
that'd
us.
be
Then you have a
hard to
paid
do.
Facebook page.
No, they said it had to be a website.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with that, if you guys do a one-time thing and just have it linked to, like, information about the association and another, spot to be able to donate, then if it's like a one-time thing where we put it up there and it's
and we could have the link to your website,
Right.
you know, on there too,
Yeah,
Right.
you know.
so
Okay.
I'd be okay with that, but just not like a continual thing, you know,
No,
you'd have
we
to go like,
wouldn't.
for like updates and stuff like that, that'd be something you'd have to have your own website,
Yeah.
or
You love WordPress, don't you?
go,
Yeah.
I don't even know, yeah, I don't even know how I'm gonna do this. I'm already nervous, but, but I mean, what we could do too on there is have a spot where it links, I think it's already on there, it links to the Facebook. Is that, what's that top
Yeah,
one?
there's a Facebook, there's a
I was
link to
gonna
the
say, I
Facebook
know
page,
on
just
our
gotta sign in,
Facebook
Yeah,
page,
perfect.
it links to the Woodburn City,
They
so.
have.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm okay with that, to have that
That will be-
URL that you guys have,
That makes sense.
the QR code,
Yeah.
link to this page right here, and then we can update this with more current information. Cause that's just cityofwoodburn.org partnerships, yeah, I mean, we could
Yeah, we
short-
just reserved a spot for Main Street,
Yeah.
Woodburn Main Street is all we have.
And we could just update this with
Yep.
the information he wants to put on there,
Yeah.
if that's alright with all you guys.
Yeah, that sounds great.
I mean, I don't see,
But
Why not?
they're still gonna have to get a website set up?
they should be okay, I mean, I don't know what it looks like when they
Do
go
you know
on
how
there
to
to
do that?
donate.
Yeah.
Do you know?
They shouldn't
Well,
have
you
to,
can go to WordPress and they have
Okay.
forms or whatever, you just kind of,
I didn't know if you needed help, that's why I wondered. I mean, I can't do it for you, but.
I don't think it's something you guys should have to do. If you have this page right here, and that way, whatever QR code you have, it'll permanently link to this. It won't have to change. And then people can donate from that link, and then they could also get to your Facebook page all from that same QR code. And then you guys don't have to set up a website.
Just to be clear, are you making this for donations? This is for the donations?
Right.
okay.
Monica
Is that okay to
explained
do?
how all that works.
That's
so
something we might have to ask state board of accounts about, putting something on our website to
It's
donate
That was,
to them.
that would be.
For
my
another
only
community
question.
organization?
Yeah, that's something I don't know
Might be a
about.
might be a good question to ask, yeah.
Yeah.
We
Just
don't
to
wanna
make
cause
sure you're
any
not opening a
complication.
can of worms
Yep.
for
Yeah.
every community organization.
But it's also, if you guys are a nonprofit, you guys have the doc, I don't see why it's,
Mhm.
I don't know.
So
I
you're gonna
don't
link
know.
for
think-
everything?
We
Yeah.
work closely enough together that they would probably sign off on it, but it'd be good to check,
Yeah.
you know. I mean, Woodburn Main Street is a city of Woodburn organization, you know. We
Mhm.
basically do municipal stuff, it's just not a part of our
It's not a
budget or
government
anything.
thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Not for profit.
Oh, I think all the rules go with nonprofit, I think we're already a government agency.
Okay.
All right.
So, at the New Allen Alliance meeting, the last one, Brandon Stewart was there, and I think he was gonna reach out to you, Mayor, I'm not sure. But he was talking about this What's Up 24/7 thing, and it's pretty much the same thing that I had talked about like a year ago. John Dockery made this website, and we could, sign up to be on this website thing, if you recall.
I remember that, yeah.
Well, the Secretary of State, what's the Secretary of State for Indiana's name?
He's a new one, I can't remember.
No, it's not Secretary of State. Anyhow,
Treasurer?
no, it's not Treasurer.
Mark Rubio?
No. For Indiana, Indiana, yeah, he doesn't have that. Anyhow, he signed up the state, made an agreement that the state would pay for any entity in Indiana for 2 years, the fee. You just have to sign up, and then you can post community events, things on this website. And there's a couple that you can already go and view. And then eventually, if we stayed with it, we'd have to pay for it, but for 2 years, we wouldn't have to. He said he was going around and talking to the different communities, about this.
Brandon is his name?
Yeah, I thought he said he was gonna talk to you, but this would have been 3-4 weeks ago, maybe. But he had little cards like this with a QR code
Yeah.
that goes right into that then. So people that are traveling, if they're in Northeast Indiana and they're traveling looking for ideas of things to do, like you click on it, and if Woodburn's got something going, they could see that or do that, or people in the area, if they're wanting to look for ideas for a weekend thing or something, they'd be able to do that, so, something we may wanna think about doing as a city.
Yeah.
I did grab these papers here and I can share them with you to look at it. Stuff.
Is that the same company or organization that has the magazine downtown? They do, there's free magazines downtown and like an old newsstand in the buildings.
Oh, yeah, I think we have some here, but it has all the events in it.
I think it's called What's Up, or What's App or something.
Yeah, this is totally online, and John Dockery's the guy that put it together, and he was the one that was trying to sell it. And New Allen Alliance was talking about buying it for the communities in the New Allen Alliance,
Yeah.
the 7 of us. And
So what does it just place that it shares events or
it,
ongoing
well,
activities?
and information about businesses and stuff like that, and now I'm referring back to what John was saying, but, you know, like Shars, just to use them as an example, they would be able to access it and put their own information in there, so if they wanna put their hours of business or specials that they're running, the bar, they're running specials or something, they could put that in there, the bowling alley, any of the entities here in town could
Because
post
we
information.
joined it,
Yeah, we would be on this, just like Main Street for the Fall Festival. If the community association's doing something, or the food trucks or anything, that could all go on this website.
Absolutely.
Something to think about. But it would be free for 2 years.
How much is it after the 2 years?
It depends, there's different levels. The white page thing is free, and then,
Can you display a QR code with enough resolution on the thing out there, I wonder?
Oh, I don't know.
yeah,
I bet you could.
the Pro Connect is $50 a year, the total engage is $200 for 2 years, and the ultimate engage is $400 for 5 years. And the basic Connect is free.
is it already up and running?
It is, and there's some cities that you can go look at on it.
What's Up,
Oh, on
number
there.
7 for the town of Woodburn.
The town of Woodburn?
Yeah, and it still has Holly as the contact. So at the very
Oh my
least, we need to
goodness.
correct it because I just got on
Goodness.
there
Holy cow,
and it's got Holly as the contact.
she hasn't been here for 9 years, or,
It's been longer than that. 10.
really, 10, okay.
What, that's the city site?
The city's What's Up 24/7 like
Um,
page.
This is called In My Community.
So if you put that in, you find it online?
Well, this one says the local sponsor is the Office of Indiana Secretary of State, Diego Morales.
Diego Morales.
Yeah, that's
what
what
it
it
is.
So,
So
I'm on the
that
right
must
thing.
be- That must be it. I don't know why that came
Well, how, who updates?
Alright. They do.
in. That was the only
You
thing.
call them and tell them that?
I don't know.
Okay. Thanks, Herb. Hold on a second. So yeah, I think it's definitely an interesting thing to have, you know. If it's free for a couple of years, it might be something we're sort of trying to find our way again after COVID, and we stopped doing the events in the summer, so we're still trying to get back into that, so that might be a way to help us.
Mhm. And it might engage a lot of the businesses too,
Yeah.
give them away.
Yeah. Give them away. I like how you said that.
Get involved, yeah. Well, you don't hear much about, the dulcimer,
No, you don't.
folk craft,
Yeah.
Right. And that would be a great opportunity for them to maybe do some stuff.
Right.
We're trying to get the Dulcimer Club to come and play at the car show too.
Awesome. Thank you. Rachel, you have anything? All right.
You got some money.
You gotta
from-
say something.
Yeah, we got some money from, Kim Campbell. I think we got, how much?
686 something.
So we've gotten about 2,300 of the 27, I think that she owes us or something like that.
She's got like six,
Oh, okay,
six
well, that's,
something left.
that's
Wow.
good news, that's good news.
Yeah.
Alright.
I don't know who that
Terry, still haven't heard anything back from the
Ag
attorney,
Plus.
so,
Yeah, we're waiting to hear on that. Hopefully we'll get an answer.
yeah,
We'll have it before too long.
Looks like
What
Time
was
is
the deal
moving.
with that? You talking about Act Plus?
Yeah, just
Yeah, so-
negotiating some terms on
Okay,
the donation.
so they didn't shut us down completely?
Oh,
no.
no.
Okay.
We made changes to what they presented as a contract, and
Okay.
our attorney's presenting it to their attorneys.
Gotcha.
So,
Yep.
that's it.
That's it? Alright.
Yep.
So, this May is what I was told, they're gonna start doing the trees on Carl. If you'll notice, Dean, we've had locates done
Yep,
on Carl, for those trees.
bunch of them.
And I think it's this fall they're going to do the trees out here. So,
we
we were going to, we originally had an estimate to do Center Street also. He mentioned that he heard about Ag Plus. He said if there's gonna be any demo in the next couple of years, it might be better to hold off on putting trees down there till after demo's done, you know, so.
So we don't drop a silo on it?
Yeah, I know. I'm glad he brought that up, you know, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
So Carl Street will be done in May.
Yes.
Who's that? Who's doing that?
JP Landscape.
Okay, JP.
not the community, so.
Well, these trees aren't gonna get real big, are they?
Just the one in front of your house.
I would not have had two of them taken down right there at one time.
When we were talking about trees, I asked them to do specific breeds that are more made for streetscapes and things like that, so they don't get real loud,
Right.
you know,
They don't
so.
tear up the sidewalks,
So,
yeah.
and I specifically said, I wanna have different breeds than what's on Main Street. So side streets will have a different breed than what's on Main Street, so.
Get the crab apple for his yard, all right?
Yeah, absolutely. Extra apples.
Yeah.
The pear, I gotta do the pear. Pear, the one they don't allow anymore.
Yeah, the Bradford pears.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Enjoy the smell.
Alright, and, so I mentioned the community crossings already, I believe, so, alright.
Follow up on that email that you sent all of us in reference to a complaint. How'd that turn out?
I haven't heard anything from her.
She never really,
Never reached
didn't
out.
respond back to
Nope.
you?
Nope.
Wow,
It is?
that's good.
Before,
Yeah.
and that reminds me, I
That's
did
what I
reach
was
out to, I did reach out in the bulletin board about,
Doesn't have Woodburn.
internet antennas. Remember we talked about that?
Yes,
Only 2 communities responded. One of them said that they did a contract with an internet provider, $600 for lifetime. Yeah.
what?
And another one said that they're
Wait, no. Don't maybe not say if it's a worse. If it's a worse one, don't maybe not say.
yeah, no. Well, and another one said that their Homeland Security said that it wasn't allowed to have them on there, but I don't understand that.
I
I
am
mean, I
so
don't see Homeland Security not allowing
you
antennas
guys
on.
No, I was not here, I don't know.
That is not a wall for me, I'm telling you. Our course of action, I think, is proper, so I don't have any reservations about raising the price and still having it monthly
Okay.
for us, so.
Vicky will catch you up here.
Yeah, I was
is,
gonna say, what are we talking about?
The Meadowlink has
Oh, that's right,
antennas
right here.
on our water tower, and their rental of how much the rent was. The contract.
They raised it, you say?
No.
Oh,
The rental, no, they pay us every month to have the tower, to have their antennas up there.
oh.
And so when I looked at the contract, it was from 2010.
Oh my gosh.
So I reached
So you
back.
guys were gonna increase it?
Yes, I reached out to Meadowlink and talked with their guy, and they're willing to double it per month.
Oh, that's
Or-
nice. revenue for the city, right?
Yeah,
Right.
so,
That's nice. Okay. Wow.
yeah, their formula is saturation and opportunity of homes passed, the environment, height of the structure, local competition, comparable rates. I don't know what any of this is, technology CapEx or investment in ROI measurements. We took all these into the estimate, come up with a dollar amount. So they were talking about, not only, so they were gonna double what the rent was, which was, it's normally $200 a month. They're talking about doubling it, going up to $400. I did talk to them, like you said, about the, moving, if we do get a new tower and they move it, then we'd have to have it in the contract, so he's at least aware of that. And, they also talked about, putting up new antennas, so I think they have 3 up there now,
Yeah, I don't know.
taking the 3 down and putting up 4. So it'd be 4 new ones, it'd be 1 additional
And
one.
why do we have them? What do they do for us?
They're an internet provider,
Oh.
a satellite internet provider, so they have towers up there, you get a
Is that what you
satellite in
guys
your house.
is that what you're using
When you
here?
get internet
No,
through Metalink, they put a receiver on your house and it broadcasts from the tower.
yeah, so instead of having Comcast, you'd have Metalink.
Oh, we don't have, I have Comcast.
Yeah, but if you're all the way out, it depends on how far you are, it could be a mile away, you can still get Metalink.
Really?
On
Okay.
satellite.
Well, that's good.
We have
As long as you have
Meadowlink, we really like it, we've
Yeah.
had, because we're out in the
I've
country.
never even heard of that.
They've been around quite a while.
So he put out a survey, he said it was gonna be out for a couple months on Facebook or something that, they have to make sure that they have enough interest in putting up the new antennas in order for them to do it. But then rent would also, they would pay for any cost to increase any power to get up there, they would do all the work, they said they could even use the guy that we use to do that, which I think is, I forget his name, but, and then they would pay an additional $50 a month if they put up the new antennas to cover,
So
The
they were
power
paying
consumption.
200 and now they're gonna pay 450 possibly? Is
yeah,
that what you're saying?
if they put up the new antennas.
Well, after 15 years, I think that's only fair. It
Yeah.
should be higher than that.
Yeah, I agree.
Really. But at least you got that. Good for you. Who got on that?
I was looking, we had a request from,
I didn't think Metalink was around in 2010.
yeah,
Wow.
we had a request from somebody that requested any contracts that the city had with anybody up on the water tower, and it's only them. And then, so I dug out the contract to look at it and realized it was for 2010,
Oh my gosh.
so,
Well, good for you.
and it was a 10-year contract, and it renewed for another 10 years if no other contract had come up. And they have like a 30-day clause where they can pull out, and then we have a 1 year, that if we tell them to take this stuff down, we have 1 year. So, and then I also got the internet taken off of our bill, which is like another, I think I was
Yeah.
another $211 a month,
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, good for you.
so
Nice.
get an extra $400 from them.
Yeah, that's great. No, I don't have anything else. I was just
You are caught up. though.
following
That-
up on that.
Yeah.
that's caught up on that though, so you're
Dan,
past something?
you have anything? No?
He hasn't
Entertain a
been- he
motion
hasn't
to
been here the whole
adjourn?
meeting.
Motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Okay.
All right.
All in favor?
I'd never call a vote for that.